A wild post-win morning of 49ers news. First, Colton McKivitz re-signs $15 million a year. Then Kendrick Bourne, the old friend, rejoins the 49ers. A one-year contract worth up to $5 million. It's fitting that we're here in Seattle, in the Pacific Northwest. That's the famous Fairmont Olympic Hotel. It's fitting because Kendrick Bourne is from the Pacific Northwest. Kendrick Bourne is from the city of Portland. He spent the first 4 years of his career with the 49ers. Now he's going to be back with them at the age of 30. Jauan Jennings is undergoing an MRI today. He was in a lot of pain in the locker room yesterday, struggled to put on his jacket. Shoulder injury for Jauan Jennings, so you can't rule out an extended absence. And if it's a few weeks, it might be injured reserve, and perhaps that'll be the corresponding move for the 49ers to fit Kendrick Bourne on their roster. But San Francisco has been interested in adding Bourne for over a week at this point. He visited the facility last Monday, and they offered him a contract, but he decided to sit out week one and see if there might be some new possibilities open up. And I think the 49ers are in more desperate need of a wide receiver now, since Jennings did get hurt. Anyway, check this out. This is actually fitting too. The Fairmont Olympic Hotel in Seattle, it says that the University of Washington was established on this site in 1861. Kendrick Bourne didn't quite go to the University of Washington, those are the Huskies, but he went to the University of Eastern Washington, where he was teammates with Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp, of course, played against the 49ers yesterday for the Seattle Seahawks. They play on a red field in Eastern Washington, in the state where we currently stand. This is Western Washington, obviously, but Kendrick Bourne on that red field for the Eastern Washington Eagles was a star in college alongside Cooper Kupp. Then he joined the 49ers as an undrafted free agent in 2017. And this is what's really crazy full circle about all of this. Kendrick was replaced by Jauan Jennings when Kendrick signed with the New England Patriots in 2021. And now he's being brought in to help replace Jauan Jennings. And maybe at one point later this season, both Kendrick Bourne and Jauan Jennings will be on the field at the same time. Story on Bourne is that he's got very good change of direction. Now, he had a foot sprain in training camp for the Patriots, but he is fully recovered from the foot sprain, and he might play as soon as next week in New Orleans. If you remember, back in 2019, Kendrick Bourne had a nice game in New Orleans. That was the 48-46 49ers win. Jimmy G, Robbie Gould, all that good stuff against the Saints. Kendrick Bourne scored a massive touchdown in that game in the fourth quarter. So maybe we see Kendrick Bourne back in the 49ers uniform at the Superdome next week. He is now 30 years old. He's been a productive receiver even with New England, and he signed a couple contracts with the Patriots before they finally released him about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And now he was open to rejoin his former team, the 49ers, who are just trying to get through this rougher patch at receiver, which got rougher with the Jauan Jennings injury. And also, you know, George Kittle is playing outside a lot, and now he's hurt his hamstring. So he's also undergoing an MRI today. So the 49ers have a lot of injury issues to sort out at the receiver position. They're waiting for Brandon Ayuk and Demarcus Robinson to return. They need to bridge the gap, and somebody like Kendrick Bourne can obviously help them do that. His hands improved over his time with the 49ers. I think he's a natural receiver with the way he moves. He's not a burner. They have a burner now in Ricky Pearsall. They may have another burner, Jordan Watkins, who is coming off the high ankle sprain, was inactive yesterday, but might be up for the 49ers as soon as next week. Of course, when you've got a quarterback like Brock Purdy, you have yourself a lot of wiggle room, which you saw yesterday. Purdy was so good in week one. The EPA composite scores have come in. Purdy, number 3 of all QBs in week one with Monday Night Football pending. It's Lamar Jackson, Jordan Love, and Brock Purdy based on the performance that we saw from Brock against the Seattle Seahawks. 4-0 now in Seattle. Big throw after big throw. The way that I put it, because so many people are overly unnecessarily fixated on one interception or one bad decision, and Purdy seems to be the only quarterback held to that insane standard. He had 42 decisions to make, 42 dropbacks yesterday. He made 40 or 41 good decisions. So one bad decision, which obviously the interception forced into coverage was not Brock Purdy's best moment. That was 2% of his game yesterday. And the reason why we look at the advanced stats is because they allow us to see the full picture and to take everything and put it into context in an objective fashion. And the fact that Purdy's game scored as well as it did, it was plus 12% completion percentage over expectation. The fact that all that registered the way that it did showed that 49ers have some true top flight quarterback play. He was able to make it work without a lot of weapons yesterday. His top 2024 receiver, his top 2023 receiver, George Kittle, an all-world tight end, but 49ers are bringing in some reinforcements. This Bourne contract, by the way, I would expect it to carry a salary cap hit probably of under $3 million. I've thought that $3 million would be the 49ers budget for this wide receiver signing. They're obviously a little bit more desperate now than they have been now that the Jauan Jennings injury has come through. But I think that with Bourne, you base it in incentives so that you satisfy Kendrick Bourne and lure him to sign with your team. But the 2025 salary cap hit probably won't be any bigger than that $3 million, and the 49ers will be able to hold off on actually paying more than that to Kendrick Bourne up until if and when he does meet those contract incentives. And in that case, both parties would win in this situation. So incentive-based, Kendrick Bourne getting up there in age. He's 30 now, so he wasn't going to sign another really, really big deal, but something that could be worth up to those $5 million does indeed make sense for both sides. So now we're going to hold our breath on the Jauan Jennings MRI, on the George Kittle MRI. We'll hear more from Kyle Shanahan in the afternoon. Of course, Colton McKivitz is also re-signed with the 49ers. They got a bargain there. Like I said, a lot's been happening this morning. We thought that McKivitz might wait till free agency next year where he could cash out at $20 million annually. Instead, $15 million annually, short-term security for McKivitz. You think of a deal like Brock Purdy's, which was lower than what he probably theoretically could have asked for APY-wise on the market, but it did give him more immediate security, and it also allows the 49ers to continue operating cap-wise around him. And I think $15 million was probably their limit for Colton McKivitz. He's being paid as the 13th highest offensive right tackle at this point, and he's definitely performing above average. McKivitz only gave up one pressure in the game against Seattle yesterday. Actually, Trent Williams gave up 6. Wasn't a great day for Trent, who probably needs to play his way into shape here in 2025 as far as game shape goes. He is also 37 years old, but the 49ers take care of the 29-year-old McKivitz. They bring in the 30-year-old Kendrick Bourne. They are 1-0 here from the Pacific Northwest, from Seattle, where we are at the site of the former University of Washington, the original University of Washington, right when the 49ers signed the Eastern Washington alumnus, Kendrick Bourne. He's back with the team, ready to go. New Orleans is coming up next for the 49ers. Maybe we'll have more signing news to do from Bourbon Street that time. We'll talk to you guys very soon.